Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Discriminating Gamer. You know, some people have a problem sleeping. Me? I can do it with my eyes closed. Today, we're taking a look at Gold West, 2nd edition by Trick or Treat Studios. In Gold West, 2nd edition by Trick or Treat Studios, 2 to 4 people are going to compete as prospectors, trying to build settlements, mine for different resources, invest in Boomtown, or actually just investments in general. Okay, can you stay one step ahead of the competition and lead the West into the Golden Age? Let's find out. So to play Gold West, what you're going to do is you have 3 things that you're going to do on your turn. And the bottom of your player board is going to tell you exactly what you need to do. Okay, and you need to do them in this order. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to activate your supply track. Now your supply track has got 4 different buckets on the side. Okay, and what it does is you're going to pick up all of the tiles or all of the pieces from one of those, and you're going to move them up. Okay, but as you move them up, you're going to be dropping one piece in the next track. So for example, if you pick up, say, 5 pieces and they're all in track 3, you're going to drop 1 in track 2, 1 in track 1, 1 in track 0, and then the rest are going to go out. Okay, the ones that are not on your track are the ones you're going to be able to use for that turn. Now, once you've got those all off of your track, what you're going to do is you're going to use all of the metals. Okay, so any of the metals that you happen to have, you're going to use those, and you're going to be able to use those for 2 things. You can either buy investments with them. Well, 3 things actually. You can use them to buy investments. So there's investment cards off to the side. They're going to be with victory points or other things. All right. If you have the correct metals out, then you can pay those, and you can only ever buy 1 investment per turn. You can invest in Boomtown. So Boomtown is on the little corner of the board, and what that's basically going to do is you have your 2 different metals, and you're going to cross-reference them on the track. So like 2 golds cross-reference, and you see what's there or whatnot. And if nothing's in that space, you can pay those metals, and you can actually put your token there. And those are usually end-game bonuses or some sort of bonus you're going to be able to get during the game. Okay, but only 1 token can ever go in 1 space, and that track is always randomly set up every single time you play the game, and you can even do different configurations in different orders of how that goes. There's a good example in the rulebook on how that's set up. Okay, the other thing you can do is you have your stagecoach area. Now your stagecoach area is going to have 3 areas. You can have your gold, you can have your silver, and you can have your bronze that you have. And for every metal that you spend of each one of those, you can move your stagecoach 1 step forward. Okay. Now, when you cross over some areas, it's going to give you bonus points. You grab those bonus points at that time. There's some actual tiles you can grab, and those are going to get you victory points the first time you go over those as well. Okay. Whoever goes over first is going to get the higher victory point. There's also a water track that you can cross over that's going to get you points, or that might actually get you water if you're playing with optional water expansions. And I'll cover that here in a little bit, okay, a little later. All right, but that's going to give you water tokens as well, okay, for more scoring. And once you're done with your metal, so basically, if you don't use your metal for investments or Boomtown, you're using them on the stagecoach track. So trying to get up that stagecoach track to get those victory points is going to be very helpful at the end of the game. Once you're done with that, then what you're going to do is you're going to build or you're going to loot. All right. Now, if you have any wood or stone that have come out of your supply, you can use either one of those to build a tent. And you're going to take your little triangle piece, and what you're going to do is you can place it anywhere on the map. Okay. And if you look at the tiles on the map, you're going to see a whole bunch of them are going to be flipped up. They're going to show you the resources that are actually available for you to get. Okay. And the way this starts off is all the resources that are adjacent to the water at the beginning of the game are all available. So that's where you're going to be able to go, because you need to be able to get resources. Okay. Now, when you put your tile or your camp down on one of those spaces, then what you're going to do is you're going to take that tile, you're going to take those resources, and you're going to put all of those resources in one of the 4 sections of your supply. whatever section you put them in, you're going to see a little number off the side, 0, 0, 1, 2, or 3, and you're going to score that many victory points for putting in those resources, okay? Then you're going to take that tile and you're going to put that tile in the appropriate row based on what it is, okay, to the far left side, all right? And those are going to be used for some in-game victory point scoring. Now, if you pull out a supply and you pull out a forest, a wood, okay, then you can build a settlement. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your tent and you're also going to take your round disc, put the disc underneath the tent and put those in the same space, okay? And then that tile, once you take that tile and you put it on the board, rather than put it in the far left space, you get to skip a space. So it's actually going to jump you just that much further ahead, okay? And again, there's a nice little example in the book to show you how you skip that one space. But it's going to get you further up that line because whoever has the majority in that's going to get extra bonus victory points at the end of the game. So having more settlements out is definitely going to be very helpful. And then what you're going to do is you're going to look at either your tent or your settlement that you have down on the map, and then you're going to flip any adjacent tiles that are upside down over so you can always see what's adjacent to your guy. And now this is going to keep on going. Turn after turn after turn. Oh, and the one thing I do need to mention, if you don't get a stone or a wood out to be able to build a camp or a settlement, then you have to do what's called looting, okay? Which there's a little loot board off to the side, and then you're going to put one of your camps over there. So no matter what, every turn you're playing one camp. So you know, I mean, the game is going to go X number of turns, like 12 turns, and you know when it's going to end. But if you have to put your camp over to the loot side, those are going to be negative victory points that you're going to gain. All right. Also, on top of that, what you have to do is you have to take a tile that's on the board and you're going to be removing that tile, okay, as if you were to put a camp there, but you don't gain the resources for it. And then you flip any adjacent tiles that are to that one as well. So that way it'd be just like you placed a camp and new resources are exposed, okay? I highly recommend, if you can get away with it, always have a stone or always have a wood come out every single turn. You just kind of want to plan your turns to where that works out. And then you never have to put anything in the loot, but there is a chance one or two might actually go in there, okay? Now, once everybody has gone all the way down and that you've played your last camp or settlement, whatever you happen to play, but your last triangle pieces on the board, okay, everybody's going to get one more turn. And in that final turn, all you're doing is you're just moving everything out of your supply and you're only doing the metals, okay? You still have to drop a piece along the way, but you're only going to deal with whatever the metals are. So you're either going to do more investments, you're going to put more into Boomtown, or you're going to be able to move your stagecoach up one of those tracks, okay? Once all of that's done, then you can go into your final scoring, and what you're going to do is you're basically going to score all of the different points that you have. You're going to look at your terrain bonuses, and everything's printed on the board, so you can get all your bonuses. Whoever has the most in each one of the different resources for like your copper, your copper, your stone, your your gold, and then I think it's the green, whatever the green one is. Sorry, the forest, the gold, the silver, and the copper. I gotta look. I always forget. Whoever has the most in that is going to get those victory points. If you're tied for the most, then you're going to end up sharing victory points. You're splitting victory points. The other thing you're going to do is you're also going to look at your longest building groups. Whoever has the longest build, or not whoever has the longest, but you're going to score 2 points for every settlement and or tent that you have in that particular group. So the more you can keep stuff grouped together, the better it is. Sometimes you got to break away from those groups because you need those extra resources you don't have. And then you're going to go to the loot section. And then whoever has the most settlements or most camps inside the loot, you're going to get negative victory points per camp in there. You're going to get -1 for every 2 if you're second most. Or if there's a tie, then there's rules for how to break that. Once all that's done, you're going to go over to the Boomtown section. You're going to score all the points for the Boomtown. Those are going to be different victory points you're going to get for that. And figure out who has the most victory points. And at the end of the game, whoever has the most victory points will win Gold West. So Gold West is a game that it came out several years ago. And it's been out of print for a long time. It's a game that I wanted to get back in the day. I never got a chance to get it. And then all of a sudden it was gone. And I didn't want to pay high prices for this particular game. I mean, I have a big collection as it is now, but it was one that I was hoping I was definitely going to get to play. Now, I was so happy to see that Gold West was brought back in. They did the second edition. I don't know if it's worth being called the second edition or not, or just it's basically just a reprint. It's a different size box and everything. But I am so glad Trick or Treat Studios brought this back in. I think this is definitely a good enough game that people that are interested in this game, they now have a chance to pick this game up again and play it. Okay, I like to consider this game a nice light to medium weight game. It's not really a filler game, but it's one that it's 45 to 60 minutes. Honestly, if you're playing this game, a couple people playing this game, I think you can get this thing done in 30 to 45 minutes. If you know how to play the game, it's not a real hard game. It's not a real thinky game. But I think it's a fun game, okay? And there's a lot of really cool aspects of this game that I do like. There's a lot of decisions with that, with your board on the side trying to move your tokens out. When you get your resources, where are you going to put them? You have to make sure that you can, every turn you can try to get a stone or a wood out so you can always try to build a camp or build a settlement. So that's something you're always having to think about. Where do I put stuff? You want to put them deeper down on that board because you want to try to get more victory points. But then again, if you put them too deep and you don't have enough resources there, you can't get anything out and you have to spend a couple turns getting them out. So then you have to have some up higher. So there's a little bit of thinking that goes on right there. Now, one of the things about this game is if you're only playing it as a two-player game, okay, the two corner end tile pieces are going to be flipped upside down. So it's going to shorten the map up a little bit. So there's not as many places to go, okay. At the beginning of the game, you have the river, and then all of the resources along the river are going to be exposed. So in, say, a 3 to 4 player game, everyone's right there competing at the river. Okay, so you're right beside each other and people are going to be jockeying for position. But you also have those two extra tiles on the outside that you can work towards. So you got to figure out where you want to go. It's harder to get a continuous route sometimes because if you got 3 or 4 players, you have people sometimes getting in your way, taking the resources that you want. Sometimes you're not necessarily just putting everything in a straight line. In a 2-player game, you can have one person on one side, the other person on the other side. You never even meet in the middle, and there's no big deal. In a 3 or 4 player game, you might have people just taking resources from you before you get them, so that way they have a better chance to try to get them and mess you up. Okay, they can see you're nowhere close to wood except for that one tile, and they just come over and steal it anyway, just because they can get it, and that's going to kind of break you up because now you're going to have to do different things. Okay. So I think as a 3 or 4 player game, I think it's a lot of fun. As a 2-player game, I still enjoy playing this game. It's a little more solitary unless the two camps start intertwining to each other. If they just stay on the two ends, then yeah, it's a lot more solitary and there's not really any interaction. The only interaction you're really having is competing for the investments or competing for Boomtown. Okay. Now, one of the cool things this game does come with is it comes with the Whitewater expansion. Okay. Now, the Whitewater expansion, basically what it's going to do is it's going to add a water element to the game. Now, water is not really going to be used for doing much. It's just only going to be scoring victory points. Okay, so to set this up, what you're going to do is when you're setting up Boomtown, the 4-point victory point tile, you're going to flip it over and you're going to use the water side of that. Okay, and if you ever spend the metal resources to claim that token, it's just going to get you 1 water. Okay, you're going to put it in your board and you're going to get the victory points for whatever section you put it in. Okay, maybe down at the bottom, get you 3 victory points. Okay, you're also going to put a water token along the river by the stagecoach. You're going to cover up, I think it's the 3 victory point spot. So when you cross over, you get 3 victory points, but you're also going to get another water that you can now set down in your board as well. Okay, so it's just more water you're going to be able to get. And that's really all you're going to be able to, that you're going to do with this. Okay, it's just a way that you're going to be able to get more water, which is going to get you those additional bonus victory points. Okay, if you have 2 water tokens in one spot, you put resources in there, you're going to get a couple victory points rather than the one or whatever you get for what's there. So it's just going to help you get more victory points if you choose that route. Nothing, really changing the rules that much, nothing groundbreaking, but it is just something a little bit different. You're also, for your 8 investments that you put out, you're going to be putting out 2 water investments, and then the other 6 are going to be non-water ones. So at least you're going to get some investments associated with the water in there as well, which is more ways that you're going to be able to you're going to gain some water or be able to do something else. Okay, so I think it's fun. I think it's fair, fine. There you go. I like the Whitewater expansion. You can play with it. You can play without it. I don't see any reason why not to play with it. It's that simple, and just add that extra little bit. Okay, but as far as I'm concerned, I think it's a very fun game. It's a medium weight game. Not real rules heavy. It's really easy to teach. It's really easy to just kind of flow through the game. And I think it's a lot of fun. It's kind of a fast game. It's like I said, it's not going to take you more than an hour to play this game, and it's enjoyable. I had a lot of fun playing this game. Okay, now question is where am I going to rate this game? All right, I never got to play the original one. I always wanted to. I'm glad I got to play this one, and I think I'm actually going to put this about a 7.5, about a 7.5. Okay. I don't think it's quite an 8. It's not quite there. It's close. It's really, really close. But I do think it's a very enjoyable game. Is it one I want to pull out? Yeah, with the right group, I'm definitely going to pull this out. My wife had a lot of fun playing it with me. I can see me pulling this out with my family. I can even play this with some of my other game groups. Okay. It's one of those games where if I get done playing in the evening, I'm like, you know what? Hey guys, we got an hour and a half before we normally end our game night. Let's play this. I can set it up in about 5-10 minutes and we're playing. I can teach this game in like 5 minutes. It's that simple. So there you go. Gold West, you know what? It's a 7.5 and it's a great game. If you never played the original and you've always wanted to play it, I highly recommend it. Thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we please ask that you like this video on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on Facebook, on X. We also please ask that you subscribe to us on all those channels as well. Click that notification button so that way you get notified whenever we drop new videos. And also please leave a comment for us on any one of those platforms. We love to read your comments. We try to respond to them as fast as we can. We love hearing the jokes that you guys leave us as well. Can never get enough jokes, right? Okay. And also, ladies and gentlemen, if you like the content that we provide here, we humbly ask you click on the Super Thanks button and leave a tip. So tell me, why is it important to act quickly during a flood? Because it's an emergency.
Have to get the medals up there to do it. Doing anything without medals is foolish.